Hello Play the Game, this is Boobity2 here and welcome back to Play the Game Central, and today what I'm going to be listing off are 6 things which I hope will return in the next Zombies game, which is going to be produced by Treyarch, which we can only assume can be called Black Ops 3, that's the working title at least. Obviously it's probably not going to be called that, but that's what we're going to be using so you all know what I'm talking about. But there's 6 things which I hope that will return, and pretty much these are the best things that I think personally have been introduced and occurred during our 3-game streak of Nazi zombie maps, and some of them aren't even Nazis, but hopefully they'll bring those back as well, so let's count that as 7, although that means that their German market is cut off severely, or they have to do a lot more work when they could have just make it not Germans. But anyway, that's number 7. That was quick. We got him up with another one on the fly. So anyway, we're going to be starting off with number 6, and with number 6 we have things such as the Paralyzer, Tomahawk, Vril, and all that kind of stuff. And what I mean by that is these are weapons which the use of which is not apparent from the get-go. I mean, you get like guns like the ray gun, the Wunderwaffe, PPSH, the jet gun, the Slickify, all these different kinds of things which pretty much make all of their uses very apparent from the very start of their usage. As soon as you get them, then you'll know that you have to use them in a certain way, and then that's it. But with things such as the Vril, the Tomahawk, and the Paralyzer, they all have different and special kind of traits which they do have. The Paralyzer is very good for flying. It eventually kills people, zombies, but mainly what its main use is for flying and for also letting other people fly around. And I remember when Buried first came out, we didn't know that for the first few days, which would have been very helpful. But that's what the Paralyzer does in its secret way. With the Tomahawk, it not just kills zombies like you would expect, it comes back to you like a boomerang. It picks up drops, you can upgrade it to the Hell's Redeemer, and that's very popular. No one knew about the Hell's Redeemer until like at least a week into the map itself, Mob of the Dead. And the Vril, obviously, a lot of people hate the Vril because it doesn't kill things instantly, and its uses are fairly mysterious, but it can grant you insta-kill, immunity to being targeted, you can cool down George Romero, you can do quite a lot of things with the Vril, so hopefully they will be bringing out more things like those weapons which have uses and purposes which aren't immediately apparent, and you have to go into a little bit more detail to figure them out. So the next thing which is coming at number 5 are 2 things in particular which are basically one and the same, and that is mazes such as the ones in Shangri-La and in Buried, and randomization. And mazes such as in Shangri-La and Buried, those are very good additions. I did enjoy those, and it always feels like you are going through the maze differently every single time. And I like that because it makes the game feel different every time you play it, which, it gives it more replayability, even though it's not too much of a interesting feature in both those maps, but something more intricate maze-like and all that different kind of thing would be really useful. I mean, you go along in the Buried maze and then you go down one route thinking that the door's open, then it's not open, and then a horde of zombies is coming at you, and that makes you shit yourself. And I love those moments. Those are some really good times having with that kind of stuff. So some mazes and stuff like that, and randomization, such as in Shangri-La. Once again, the perks all shift around in different positions, and it kind of would have been nice if they did that every few rounds. Would actually been quite a nice, interesting feature, or make it some kind of drop thing which the monkeys give, which is just called randomize or something like that, and then the box, the perks, gun spawns, all different kinds of stuff, change locations, which would have been really cool in Shangri-La or something like that. So some more randomization and mazes and that kind of stuff would be awesome. Next thing is customization, and we did have a little bit of that in Black Ops 2, but only with Green Run, really. You could Green Run and Nuketown, that was about it. And I was really disappointed. I was sorely disappointed with the amount of customization, which was rounds, pack-a-punch, hellhounds, and headshots only. Those, just no. of that kind of stuff would have been nice. I mean, you could make it so that you could lock off certain perks, make it so that you could only be restricted to one certain area of the map. You could make all different kinds of randomization things, which would have been really cool and interesting. You could even customize the amount of points that you get and all different kinds of stuff. I mean, if you play a lot of custom maps like I do and a lot of people in the community do for World at War, they do things very, very differently in their certain mods and stuff, and so I think it would be a very good idea if they made more customization all over the board, all over the maps. I mean, imagine Diarize and Mob of the Dead, where you were restricted to every perk except Juggernog and no buildables, and you had to stay in the main prison. You wouldn't be allowed to go outside. That would have been pretty cool. So the next thing to go into would be number 3, which comes in at elevators and teleporters and the minecart, I guess, in Shangri-La, and all those different kinds of things, which are immediate safety devices where, I mean, everyone who's ever played Darius has had one great moment where they have held down one teleporter room and there's zombies pouring in, and then they can't hold the windows, and they fall back into the teleporter, fight for as long as possible, and then teleport and go to the next teleporter, and that is some really fun stuff, and that's some great fun that I've had personally throughout my entire Zombies experience has been from those quick escape kind of facilities, if you will. And elevators as well from 5 are very cool as well, because the main tactic in 5 is to camp in the elevators, and then for some reason sometimes the elevator doesn't work and everyone just freaks out, and then horrible stuff happens. Or amazing stuff happens, because you might just get like a nuke or an insta-kill which saves your life, which would be a godsend. But that kind of stuff, fast escapes, immediate escapes like that, I hope will return again. The next thing, which I think is a major thing which should be re-added, are really small Easter eggs similar to those in Darius, and with those ones like the brick in the Rubble in the Thompson room which flattens down, the bits of paper in the grate, the Illuminati symbols, the planks of wood behind the teleporters saying ENG for England, FRA for France, etc. And all those kind of little tiny things, they really need to re-add those, because that is something which, a lot of us people on YouTube do love doing and finding all that stuff. It's really great. Same as in Mob of the Dead and in Origins, they have the little pieces of paper and scraps of things which you have to find all of them and put them all together and all that kind of stuff. And that would be a lot better if they added more little things like that rather than just one big Easter egg. And they added a few little things in Transit and Green Run, but not Diarize or Buried. Buried did actually have quite a few. There's a lot of interest into what's his fucking face, the big picture of the guy Fahrenheit or Faraday, Michael Faraday. That was a little bit of stuff on that which was interesting to look into, but it was kind of like a main thing. There weren't like little tiny pieces of mysterious stuff on the floor like in previous maps. And, all that kind of stuff definitely added an atmosphere and a kind of horror to it. Much like with Mob of the Dead, it didn't really have much tiny stuff, but it felt so atmospheric and hellish and horror-like that it was a massive success. So, I hope they do bring back maps which do kind of creep you out and have a bit of mystery behind them. And my one thing, the one big thing, number 1, which I would like to see introduced into the next game, are big events. And the main big event which I can really draw upon is Buried's endgame, when you finish all 3 Easter eggs and then you push the big button in the next game nearish the beginning of the game. And I do like that they save that until the next game rather than as soon as you finish the main Buried Easter egg, because it keeps the zombies on low round, you can hear what's happening, because it's a big storyline event, and so you should be paying attention very much to that, and hopefully they do stuff like that in the future. That would be a lot nicer than having around 30 odd zombies charging at you constantly and you can't hear a damn thing anyone's saying. But big story events like that, and just regular little events like in one of my map ideas, which was Agartha, which is on the channel right now. If you haven't watched that, then go find it. And a big event which I wanted planned on that was something where after about 10 minutes into the game and after you've cleared the first area completely just breaks away, and then you see a massive chunk of space and maybe some rockets flying about, the sun, the moon cycling every now and then, something like that. Just big events like that, something definitive, atmospheric, and encompassing, and engrossing, and all the kind of other ing words that I can think of and draw upon, which are in my head, but I can't really bring them out into my mouth right now, because I have no idea what they are, but they're there somewhere. But that is my top 7, really, things to talk about that I would like to see return and be introduced in the next Zombies game. And those are really, I think personally, the best additions in Zombies and the thing which makes Zombies enjoyable for me, all that kind of stuff, which I hope that they will be including. But if you guys have any things which you would like to see improved and added or returned in the next zombie game, let me know in the comment section below. All your ideas, let me know your feedback on my ideas, etc, etc, etc. And that's it. So thank you for watching. Leave a like, be so kind as to do so. Like button. Press that little thumbs up, which might change in the next YouTube update because they keep doing that. But thumbs uppy, likey goodness, and subscribe if not subscribed already, because it is Play the Game, obviously. And when the next game comes out, you better believe that this is going to be the place which blows up with the best content in the world in 4K quality, no less. But anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time, and goodbye.